Your belief in what is possible has changed. And that's all it takes. I know it's hard for some of you to hear this because I do teach a lot of people how to find their value in the marketplace. But the thing that you need to do is to believe and then do it. That's the secret formula. Hey, what's up everybody? We were just at the AIGA National Design Conference. It's my first time ever attending, and it's a congregation of designers of all types from around the country. I was there because they invited me to do a keynote talk, and I could not pass up on the opportunity to be able to interact with fans and do impromptu live streams.
All right, how you feeling?
Look, it is now 6 minutes to game time. 6 minutes to game time. I gotta shake off the cobwebs. I gotta be ready.
Please welcome Chris Doe.
Most creative people think if they learned some secret sauce, if they were just given tools or techniques, that they would blossom and become the creative people they were meant to be. But the truth is, it's all boiled down to your belief system, what you believe to be true and not to be true. So let me ask you guys a true or false question, okay? Do you get out of life what you put into it? True or false? Okay, thank you. That's how we do. It's like a bunch of designers, very quiet. So true, you get out of life what you put into it, right? Okay. Well, look at this, input, output. It seems to make sense. But what I want to do is to interrupt this and insert one critical step that you may not be aware of. And that is interpretation. Input, and depending on how you look at things, determines your output, right? So we have to kind of think like, what is real? And we think real, reality, it's all the same. And in fact, it's not. There's this thing which you believe to be real, which is just really subjective individual reality. And sometimes that rubs up against objective physical reality. So your life really depends on how you look at the world. What do you see? So let's re-examine this same flow chart again. Your input, depending on the interpretation, has an infinite number of outputs. If you want to be angry, you will find a way to be angry. And if you want to feel hurt, you will find a way to feel hurt. I just happen to choose to be happy. That works much better for me. So I've developed a belief system that lifts me up, that reminds me that when I fall down, it's okay, and that everything is a work in progress, and I have something to learn. There's also a lot of negative self-talk, low self-esteem, low self-worth, and that translates over when a client asks you to do something. What's happening is we don't have the internal validation, so we're going to look for it externally, and when we look for that validation from other people, they can take advantage of you. Fail. Fail is a very powerful, crippling word for many of us. It prevents us from taking a start even. Well, isn't fail just the first attempt in learning? And what about no? A door closes? It's not the end. It's just time for your next opportunity. How about fear? Oh, that's a big one. More people do less because of fear. Fear could be a fantasized experience appearing real. Hasn't happened yet. Don't give it the power. Pain. What could pain mean? Maybe pain is necessary for good things. It could be the precursor to anything notable. You've seen this chart 100,000 times probably. This is the comfort zone, and you know that's where the magic happens. And we like to stay inside the comfort zone. So what can safe mean? So we've been taking negative words and making them positive. What if we took a positive word and made it negative, so you don't want to be safe anymore? Well, safe could be simply always following everyone. Now, who wants to be safe here? Okay, good, and this is working. Safe could be stay average forever. If you want to insult a designer, just tell them your work is average. I think especially relevant to the AIGA Design Conference, which is a gathering for all designers to come together. They are the ones who are championing and fostering community. And that's what we're doing, just in an online form. This is how we're able to reach out and have conversations with people from not only just in the United States, but all over the world. The community is what makes the future possible. But our plan for the live streams and the reality of the live streams were two totally different things.
Okay, we are setting up the live stream iPad, and guess what?
We are getting slow internet.
Our internet is jacked? Is that what's going on? We're planning to go live when? 4 minutes.
4 minutes. Oh.
Guys, the whole point of us being here is to stream. So if we're not streaming, like, what are we doing here?
Don't mistake somebody's best, right, as what they do all the time. I think that's a disservice to creative people. So here's another valuable piece of advice, I think. If you're a creator, make stuff without judging it, okay? And make it all the time and be very prolific. And then somebody will say, that's amazing, that's amazing. And then learn to listen to that. And we can do this right now in real time on the internet. You post something on Instagram, you look at the numbers, you look at the engagement. Here we are. Guys, I have the distinct pleasure of having Debbie Millman stepping into the booth with us. So Debbie Millman, she's done a lot of incredible things. She may be the longest running person who's done like a design podcast. It's Design Matters. And really, I just want to open it up and use whatever time I have with you and talk about whatever's hot on your mind.
What I got from talking to Debbie Millman was about this insecurity and how that is the genesis for a lot of creative people. And that was a very foreign concept to me. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized that this is a running through line with a lot of creative people.
I'm really interested in the psychological motivations of creative people. How do they have the courage to be creative? What gives them the sense that they can be creative? Where does that sense of creativity come from? How is it fostered? What struggles do creative people go through that might be unique to a creative mind?
Do you find that there are certain common themes as to how somebody goes from being and then being creative? Is there something that's a common thread? Or
No.
an uncommon thread?
I would say I
No.
have not found that yet.
Okay.
I mean, I actually think that one of the threads very well may be a pervasive sense of insecurity.
Oh, wow.
And that creativity is a way to express thinking and ideas, and that creativity becomes a response to the insecurity. But I don't have any empirical evidence to suggest that. It's really anecdotal.
I think the live Q&A had its real opportunity when a young woman stepped up and started asking questions about pricing. And I just broke out into like, let's get the whiteboard out. I want to demo this for you. I want to teach you something. And she could not have been more perfect in terms of the right attitude and the pushback that I was getting. It was absolutely perfect.
Now, here's how it works. We have very little attention to give things. So when somebody finds out about you, they're gonna say, work with Jody. She's great at doing web comms. So it's programmed in their mind, Jody web comms, Jody web comms. That's what they think. They don't think of you for this other thing, right? We form these mental shortcuts all the time. We do it, all of us do it. It's called heuristics. It's also a form of bias, right? We operate on too little information, all of us. It's a survival technique. So here's the next thing, okay? I want you to stop selling. Stop selling. Okay? You want to close more jobs? Start serving. Different S word. How can I be of service to you? You've asked me 0 questions. How can you diagnose if you haven't asked me any questions? Okay? Start thinking about some questions you want to ask me. Remember, our goal is to figure out, is there a problem we can solve? Or is there a problem, period, to be solved?
A lot of times I try to envision reaching out to just a small group of people. They say that if you can impact the life of one person within this conference of 1,400 people, you've done something wonderful. What I didn't expect to hear were other conference speakers coming up to me afterwards and saying, I needed to hear that. I'm doing a talk tomorrow. I'm doing a workshop tomorrow. And you really energized me. You gave me some tools that I can use. And that was really awesome. They were applying what it is that I taught, and being able to do that just made me feel just incredible, just through the roof. Some of that message cut through, and they're able to walk away with something that they can use and apply for the rest of their life, or at least for the rest of the weekend.